Welcome to Fouts Boxing Theory and the Fouts Boxing breakdown of Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis. I'm also going to be doing a series called So You Want to Be a Fighter. So if you want to send in some film and have your stuff critiqued and get some tips and pointers to punch harder, be a better fighter, yada yada, send in a clip to my email, info@rvl0us@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System, the most efficient combat system on the planet. All right, now we're going to be taking a look. We're going to go ahead and start. All right, now Regis Prograis is super quick. All right, super quick, super powerful. On average, when he's on his back foot here, front foot, back foot here, and getting attacked here, this is one of the most dangerous places that you can throw a punch at somebody. And Regis Prograis is very, very, very good at getting from this position to this position. All right, now if we take a look at this strike here from Daniel Zarita, this is a body shot here that he's throwing at Regis Prograis, and that was the most effective source of offense from Devin Haney in his fight with Lomachenko when he wound up fighting somebody who was, kind of a super athlete, like himself. Devin Haney is very strong, very in shape. His footwork is not good, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that too when we talk about striking and we talk about positions and stuff. But I'm just going to leave this clip open here, down here, and we're going to kind of go through some very, very significant sequences for this fight. Now, Regis Prograis is actually pretty decent at fighting off of his jabs, and Devin Haney does like to follow people back and counter their punches. Not counter always punching with them, but following them back. If you make a mistake, you got to pay, right? So looking to find a mistake, but Regis Prograis, pretty solid pull counters here, and more importantly, being able to set them up off of his own punches. Now, when we talk about Daniel Zarita, I don't even know if I'm saying is Danielito. When we talk about why that fight was the way that it was, um, Danielito didn't really sit on the line very much. Most of what he was doing in the fight was circling, staying out of range. Um, and see how he throws this right hand here, and he tries to immediately hold Prograis. This is not something that Haney always does. Devin Haney has a number of very poor defenses where he rolls under the line, and he has a very, very, very big and exaggerated roll. And I don't think he understands that he's supposed to be doing those things in relation to his target. So, this being one of the things that may have a huge impact on the fight is the holding. Now, here he is again probing, boom, gets Danielita to throw with him. He slips this shot and then comes back with the hook here. Okay, so again, Prograis pretty good at fighting off of his own jab, but there is one problem with Regis Prograis' jab, pull, counter. Okay, again, very, very good at setting traps and fighting off of those things, getting his opponent to engage. But Regis Prograis doesn't really score very much with his jab. He usually follows his opponents around. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this double jab here, boom, and this counter to the body. All right, this was Devin Haney's main source of offense against Vasily Lomachenko. Okay, we're gonna take a look at that here in a second. Here we go. I'll choose this clip. No, this clip. No. Why are these all Prograis? Boom. So this is the most common source of offense from Devin Haney. And as we see here, Regis Prograis, I'll say back in the day, again, look at him on the back foot here, getting attacked while he's on the back foot, crossing the line with the power shot, just like he did to Daniel Zorita, countering him to the head. But he's very, very good at this. And this is one of those things that Devin Haney does a lot of is stepping with his punches. Okay. It's a very, very, very dangerous thing to do at a really high level. And it seems like something that Devin Haney almost can't help. Okay. Now, again, jumping on the line here, pulling this shot here, the jab comes, following him back to the body, and a hard body shot going toward the liver, not just anywhere on the body, not the closest part, but really trying to get his weight down there and hit him in a very, very, high value area. Now, here his opponent is making it to the front foot, telegraphing he's going to throw a punch and getting smacked with a 1-2. Okay. Devin Haney likes to be close. All right. He likes to be close to his opponents, and we're going to be looking at some footage of that. But Danielito was a guy that didn't want to be on the line at all. He would never pause or take breaks, right, to get a look at the line. He would just kind of throw something and continue darting away, or throw something and try to hold, okay? And I don't think that's going to be the kind of fight that Haney is going to present um, with Regis Prograis. It's just not really his style. If you look at him when he practices any of his punching, he's always standing exactly still on the line, not doing anything. Now, when somebody pivots on the front foot here, this guy's taking a step on the front foot, and Regis Prograis does a really good job of controlling him, getting him to interact with him, and then smacking him with this shot. This is super, super quick. Boom, boom, and landing this shot here. This is very, very, very quick, and we're going to talk a little bit about why that's going to be so effective against Haney, in my opinion. Now, again, pulling here, boom, boom. Again, Devin Haney, not very good at just letting his rear hand go all the time. Against Lomachenko, he didn't throw very many to the head, mostly going to the body. But even when he doesn't take a step, we can see here, he's able to pull counter this, even though his opponent is not stepping with this shot. He's planted. He does land some shot. Now, check this out. He does catch Prograis with the second punch, boom, even though he gets caught with another punch himself. But Regis Prograis very, very, very active on the line. A lot of scrambles, a lot of, you know. Now, this is a very important clip, and we're going to see why later. But here's Devin Haney controlling some space with the jab, and Jojo Diaz follows him back. Devin Haney doesn't always have his hands up, and as we see the 1-1-2, look at how slow that is, and it still winds up being able to be enough to kind of walk Devin Haney into that shot. I don't know why that clip didn't open here. Let's see, open. Oh, it's not going to. Okay. Comes to the line, throws a hook, stepping, right hand to the body. Here he leaves the line, hands down, and gets cracked with the shot. Okay. Again, Devin Haney's defense not always that great. He doesn't always hold or do things like that. Here he is trying to pivot on the front foot in front of his opponent, and he kind of gets clipped here just a little bit by Diaz. Here he is just being on the line. His opponent just throws a two here, right? Devin Haney loves to sit on the line. He'll always find an opportunity to kind of get planted. Boom. And then again, getting hit here to get planted to begin striking. Okay. He's not really I don't want to say a boxer. Obviously, all these guys are boxers, but here he is coming in with a stepping jab here. And look at Lomachenko working, being able to cross the line, right? Coming in with the 1-2 here. Again, the body shot. And look at the defense from Haney. Okay, his hands are down. Look at how slow this is. 1, 2. We've seen Prograis counter bigger stuff than that, more damaging shots, faster timings. We've seen him counter. And it just looks to me that the footwork from Haney, because he always steps with his punches. Now, real quick, Lomachenko getting a good look crossing the line here, right? Kind of free, pulling, coming this way. Allowed to cross the line against Haney. Haney's not really reacting. And again, this is because Haney likes to stand on the line. He likes to be here. This is where he knows how to fight. And that's what makes the Zarria fight, such an anomaly, because that's not, even though it looked like an effective way to fight Prograis, it's not exactly how Devin Haney knows how to throw punches because of his footwork flaw. Now, um, as we get into that, everything that you do, you guys, I have this 2-foot punching theory, but everything that we do, we have to drive from the ground from both feet, okay? And because of the fact that Devin Haney steps with his right foot when he throws his right leg, means he doesn't get as much power in his punch. He doesn't have as much snap. But also, more importantly, okay, and this is some guy asked me a question. He's like, sometimes you're arrogant and this, and you criticize all these people as calling them bad boxers and, whatever, whatever. Well, first off, here, okay, Devin Haney doesn't understand what power punching is. He's not a power puncher, okay? He doesn't understand. And because he doesn't understand how punching power works and footwork works, because of that, he doesn't have a system set up to make sure that he's in the best possible positions to throw strikes and defend himself at the same time, because he doesn't know what he's trying to achieve with his feet. Okay, again, look at the 2-foot punching system or the 2-foot punching videos that I've shown on YouTube. The root is the pendulum step. I'm going to be teaching some of this stuff on YouTube next week on Friday or Saturday or so. I'm not sure what day. Maybe it'll be in this video as well, my post-fight review of this fight. Um, but I'm going to be teaching you guys how the power punching works with the 2-foot punching system. And as we're on the topic again, the Fouts boxing combat system, I'm the only person in the history of combat sports that understands exactly how punching power works with every piece of your kinetic chain. And that's why my system is unique against all other systems on the planet, is because everything that you do, your pull counters, your straight punches, your hooks, your blocks, your catches, they all have this structure, this correct power punching structure and theory in mind when performing them, to make sure that you're going to get the most out of every sequence, the most out of your training, to make sure you get the best workouts. Okay, it's a complete combat system to teach you exactly what you need to get to a professional level of fighting. Okay, now someone else made a comment about these people. The one thing that I leave out is these people are freak athletes. They're in the gym training all the time. Yes, that's true. But if you use the Fouts boxing combat system in the way that I teach drilling, the way that I teach working the heavy bag, the way that I teach working the double end bag, if you do it the way that I tell you, you are going to improve. You are going to get faster. You are going to get stronger using these drills, these very, very, very unique drills, especially the what I call the Big George punching drill. In the Fouts boxing combat system, it's a very, very, very unique way to learn striking and to approach. And doing this drill, you're going to improve your speed, improve your power, improve your hand speed, like Ryan Garcia. Okay. Um, but this is the way that you bridge the gap between you and those freak athletes. This is how you do it. This is how you measure yourself. Okay. The system is so much more clever and genius than you're going to understand when you're a low level competitor or when you're a low level fighter, because low level fights don't look the same as high level fights. And most people train for low level fighting. Anyway, Lomachenko kind of allowed here to play on the line and use his active guard. By the way, if you guys have ever heard that term active guard, that is a term that I created. It's my own personal theory that moving across the line allows you to feint your opponent more often, get more control over the line. It is a very popular theory now, but it came from this channel, just like everything you've heard about combat sports in the last 6 years. So, allowed to play again, Haney likes to be in this position, and if we take a look at the position that Haney is in, it's very, very difficult to block punches if you don't have your hands close to the line. And Devin Haney's hands are in this perfunctory place, right? It's not like he's far away from defending himself because he's fast, but it's very difficult to defend yourself from multiple attacks, or rather multiple threatenings of your position. Okay, which would be like a 1-2. Because the first one, you're fast enough, you're going to be caught off guard. You're going to pull, you're snappy, you're fast, you're strong, you're an athlete, you're a freak athlete. But the second one is going to come for that position you just moved into. And because your hands weren't up before you moved into this position, you're not going to have them up now. And the second punch is what's usually going to get him. Now, he's allowed to cross the line and play and use his active guard, and this allows him to threaten his opponent's positions more often. And again, able to get to the line a lot here against Devin Haney. And Devin Haney opening up with a stepping hook or a leaping hook here. Okay. We're going to talk more about that stuff too. Now, Devin Haney doesn't always hold. Devin Haney doesn't always move off the line. Devin Haney doesn't always counter. Devin Haney doesn't always do the same thing, except that, number one, I want to point out real quick, ducking below the waist is illegal. Okay. There was a clip, and people say I don't know how to say his name, Subriel Matthias. I don't know how to say his name, and I don't care. He's a great fighter. That's all. But his opponent, Ergashev, was ducking below the waist, and he ran out of targets, and he's just standing there, and the guy's ducking below the waist, and he's not getting penalized. It's cheating, guys. That's his strategy here after this guy snaps, throws this energy at the line. 1-1-2. Okay, now, the 1-1-2 is literally the most common move for Regis Prograis attacks. It is the most common way for him to throw punches. Okay? He gets on the line with the 1-1-2, and Daniel Zarea would move off the line every single time. He would just refuse to engage. Okay. Now, that is one of the ways that you can fight a power puncher. Ask Shakur Stevenson, right? You just don't engage with them. Now, I did a rules video real quick, and I want to talk about that idea is that if you refuse to engage with your opponent the whole fight or the whole round, every round, or any round, that's a 10-8 round for the person who was coming forward. You don't win that round because you stole like 2 jabs or 3 jabs, but you ran the whole round. That's not winning the fight. Okay? It is literally in the rules. It says that if you refuse to engage and fight your opponent, that you will be deducted a point. You should be deducted a point. Okay? So Daniel Zorrilla should have been deducted points for running against Regis Prograis. Okay? It's in the rules. That's just the rules. Which means that Devin Haney, if he's following by all the rules and he doesn't duck below the waist, he also can't just run everywhere. Right? It means he's going to have to engage. Now, I don't necessarily think that that's going to be the biggest problem for Devin Haney. I think that he's going to be on the line with his opponent, with Prograis, and he's going to fight him in some spots. Very, very poor inside fighting there, close to the line a lot. Ducking below the waist again. Okay. Fighting here. Now look at him fighting in the scramble here. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but it's really, really, really important, this type of clip here, that you guys see that Devin Haney likes to, he doesn't always have the most amount of defense, the most, right? Like if you talk about Shakur Stevenson running from De Los Santos, right? He's running from De Los Santos because he doesn't want to get hit by a power punch, right? Daniel Zorrilla ran from Prograis because he doesn't want to get hit by a power punch. The more time he's on the line, the more likely he is to get hit with a power punch, especially a fast one. Devin Haney likes to be on the line. And here he is getting pushed around. Now, again, Devin Haney has very, very poor defense sometimes. Again, Zorrilla would continue circling. He would never take breaks. He doesn't get planted, right? He just walks and moves, and Devin Haney has to go from planted position to planted position. Now he's doing this little roll here, and look at what it costs him. He literally got hit with a 3-piece by doing this move in front of Loma. Okay? Very, very dangerous. That's the right hook for control. Boom. And then the right hook, it's kind of behind, and then that. So we'll call it like 2.5 punches. A 2.5 punch mistake because of his defense. And here he is trying to duck below the waist, right? Whoop, and roll, but Loma didn't get close enough, right? Boom. It makes him eat these punches. Now, again, he's not holding. He's not ducking below the waist. He's not circling. He's stuck in the corner for almost no reason. Here he is trying to pivot on the front foot, and he couldn't escape because Loma pinned him down with punches. And I think that this is going to be a very common pattern for him. I think he's going to get in positions like this a lot. Okay. Now, do you guys see a problem with this here? I don't know if you guys know this, right? But here he is taking this big step, slipping to the back foot. Almost nothing came at him, right? Like a little bit of control, and he rolls, misses this shot here. And then look at him shifting forward. Okay. There's nothing wrong with the shift, but see how he throws the shot and his foot's already in the air? He almost always does some form of this shifting with the back foot. His foot almost always comes up off the ground because he doesn't know how to use his legs and punch. He's very, very top heavy, strong. He's a huge guy. But his structure is always so poor that he always winds up forcing himself to shift when he throws the right hand or step when he throws the left hand. Okay? Especially at a high level, especially when he wants to throw his best version of these punches. And again, this is why practicing your striking is so important. Okay? So that you don't have to do that stuff in a fight. But check this out. Okay? I just want to tie some dots, okay? I've been saying for years, now also, number one, I've been saying for years that I think Crawford would beat the crap out of Mayweather. For years and years, since I first started my channel, Crawford's my pound for pound number one fighter. He has been for a long time. In skill wise, I just don't. He needed to prove it by getting his win over Spence. And I've been saying for years and years and years that he would mollywop him. It would not even be close to close. Okay? Now, I was right. Errol Spence has a lot of flaws. He's a big guy. He gets away with a lot because he's big and long. And people just don't understand how head movement works, how being a great athlete, which Crawford has a very high skill set. And he's also a freak athlete, right? And I don't want to say freak athlete like you can't attain this, right? You just have to work at it and know what you're doing. But he's very strong. He's very snappy. Now, Errol Spence had this terrible habit of jabbing and then doing a pendulum step and then trying to get on the line with his opponent. It's the same thing, exact thing that um, Canelo does, which is again why I'm picking Crawford to knock Canelo out. KO, KO, guys, not just TKO, right? But KO. Um, but we can see here. Here's Devin Haney. He's going to do a very similar move, right? And he has no lead up to it, right? Here he is taking that step. Boom. And see, you get touched by Loma here. Boop. Controlled as he takes a step off the line. It's a very similar move, except that he's not even controlling any space with the jab before he goes. He's just doing this naked, trying to cross his line, take the step. Look at what position he is after he throws that. He had to step forward. He stepped forward with both feet there. And now he's going to do the exact same thing. Down, up, down. Okay. Cross, gets lead foot dominance, gets touched with the right hand again, gets off the line. And because he's forced to shift, boom, boom, boom. Free punches, right? Now, those were not convincing punches from Loma, but that's not the point. They might be convincing punches from someone who's actually a puncher. Now, here's Haney controlling a little bit of space, okay, with the lead hand. Now, Regis Prograis is really good at this move, seeing the lead hand come and then pulling and getting under it and countering with the rear hand, and countering with the rear hand, countering with the rear hand, countering with the rear hand. Devin Haney likes to pendulum step off the line. Look at him, multiple pendulum steps, doesn't change positions, doesn't move his head, right? No feinting, just keeping that hand out there. It's not going to be good enough. There are so many like very interesting little holes. Now fighting on the inside on the scramble, which again I think is going to be very, very dangerous for Haney against Prograis. Now, will he be strong enough to? Here's a quick 1-2, right? Now it's a 3-2. Again, look at his lead foot, right? So here comes the jab, here comes the hook. Now again, remember one of those first clips we were watching with Prograis? Okay, the ones where he was pull countering him like super easy. Not this one. Boom, boom, forcing the attack, right? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And here's Haney doing his best, right? To follow him back. Boom, boom, right? Jab, pull, counter, right? Devin Haney loves to counter the jab. Okay. It's very, very interesting because Prograis has a very good jab defense. Now, here's again Devin Haney's most common source of offense against Lomachenko, right? Now, the last time we saw Prograis do this move, when he slipped his weight to the front foot down here like this, he threw his left hand as well, and he hit Daniel Zariah in the head. Okay, it was a very, very difficult thing for Daniel Zariah to land and throw right hands. Now, here's Haney taking a step outside, trying to pivot on the front foot, getting countered. Here's the one. Where's the two fit in there? You guys see the hole there? You guys see how it fits in there? But again, this if he tries to do that thing where he just circles, Devin Haney's not very good at it. Devin Haney doesn't know how to do this stuff and control space. There's a lot of strategies here that he's missing. And again, getting to that front foot, giving opportunities to throw 1-2s. And again, it's like Regis Prograis' best move. Now again, just jumping in, boom. No control, no nothing. His opponent's on the front foot. This is like one of the worst things you could do. Because when he tries to throw this rear hand, if Lomachenko actually had a hook, KO. KO. But jumping in, throwing that shot, and look at his back leg, guys. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? And look at that back leg come forward. Look at his defense. He has no defense there. Now, again, this is his favorite little trap. Look at him. This is very important, too, because most fighters do this stuff with their hands down. Okay? They do this stuff with their hands down. They don't guard the line. It's not hard to hit them. It's actually not that easy right now to hit Prograis. Okay? And that means that less opportunities to throw those jabs and throw those punches at him and allow him to get close enough. Ooh, to walk into some shots. No, I'm just kidding. So I wanted to include this clip here, okay? Because this was also a very common attack for Devin Haney. As Lomachenko would get on the line, he would get to a position where he was trying to get into range of, to punch, get lead foot dominance, right? And Lomachenko would normally jump in, right, and get timed by Devin Haney. But here is Prograis kind of pendulum walking, right? I call it a pendulum walk. It's a kind of a slow movement. In a safer way to get to these positions. Canelo is an example of a fighter that will pendulum walk to get closer. You have to do it. It is dangerous, but here's the thing: you're in a fight. Everything you do is dangerous, right? It's dangerous to block. It's dangerous to slip. It's dangerous to catch. It's dangerous to punch. Everything's dangerous. So, but this timing, right? If Devin Haney can, get control of Prograis when he's coming forward. So here he is planted, right? Very similar to what Devin Haney is going to do. Even though this punch doesn't look like it's landing, right? If he can do that and get out, right? Again, Devin Haney's not very good at that. Here's another shot here. Prograis comes forward. Boom. Here's the counter. So again, this may be a kind of effective thing if he can throw this rear hand. The only problem is the rear hand is going to be a huge liability for him. Now here's the rear hand here. Now this move, very similar to Jojo Diaz. Here comes the right hand, and it was just a right hand. It wasn't even a left into a right. It was just a right hand, so it's even faster, and he's getting countered here. Right? This little peel, this circling move, right? And again, Zorrilla, I think, is better at circling and moving around and using his footwork than Devin Haney, and he's still getting clipped here. He's still getting hit in interesting little places. Now again, flow of the fight kind of thing. Lots of this stuff from Devin Haney getting into these positions. Look at his guard here. Lomachenko's not really a counterpuncher. I don't know why he doesn't learn to counterpunch, but he's not really a counterpuncher. 1-1-1, 2. Again, look at how sloppy this offense is. Regis Prograis loves to punch with his opponents. He loves to counter. He loves to. It's his favorite thing. Jab, and again, stepping jab, right? We can see his weight lunging forward. Regis Prograis is very good at pulling that move. This is one of his most common sources of defense, right? Moves off the line, stepping jab again. And again, his footwork is throwing himself to the line. Pendulum off the line. Here's a 1 from him, from Loma. What happens if he snaps in a 2 again right here? Okay, and we're going to be talking about that in a second here, but watch this sequence. Jab, pulls off the line, 1, right? And then he's coming back. Okay? Feint stepping, 1-1, stepping again. Now, this clip is very, very, very important, okay? It's going to paint like a really good picture, again, of Devin Haney wanting to be in front of his opponent, right? Being close to him. Devin Haney does everything from that planted position right there, throwing that jab from that planted position. That was a 2-foot stepping jab, right? Now look at how much time there is, so much recovery. Here he is circling, right? And look at him penduluming. This is very, very dangerous to be jumping around here. Regis Prograis may just smash him, Now he's going to get to the line. Boom. He's ready to plant himself, right? He's ready to interact and starts throwing little jabs, stepping jabs, circling around. Again, Lomachenko's not really a counterpuncher. Look at him finding an opportunity here. Now, I do want to point out, Regis Prograis doesn't land a lot of jabs. He usually uses them to probe or to control space, right? Eating a good hook there. Good move from Haney there. But circling, and now again, he's going to get planted, right? He's going to find an opportunity to sit on the line with his opponent and allow them to throw punches at him. Here he is trying to tie him up a little bit, and Loma's hitting him on the inside, right? Not that great at defense, but most importantly, this clip teaches us that Devin Haney wants to fight. He's going to get on the line with you. He's going to plant himself. He's going to allow you to control some space, and he's going to throw that sequence there, right? That was the one that was a little bit effective against Prograis, right? But look at how his defense works, right? He's going to get that move off. Boom, boom. How long does it take him to leave this position? Okay. took like 2 beats, right? And now he's still going to get hit with that left hand. It doesn't look like it in this clip here. I know, right? But watch his head. You can see him kind of get touched on the chin. And I think that Prograis is better at those type of shots than Loma. Pull, tried to come up, follows him back. Okay. Now again, those kinds of shots come. Here comes that shot. He's pulling. It could be a body shot. He tries to leave the line. There's that 1 beat. Here he goes, right around the guard. Catches him with a good shot. Devin Haney caught Loma with a really good hook right in that sequence, right? Is he going to throw good hooks? He got him. Is he going to fight on the inside here? Well, look what happens when you fight on the inside against Prograis. You get wobbled. You cannot fight this guy in the scramble. There's a number of times where he gets really close to Haney, or he gets really close to Zarria, and Zaria's trying to hold him on the inside, and he's able to throw even a right hook over the top, a really sloppy, ugly thing, cracks him, makes him wobble. Now again, remember that lead hand control from Haney when he gets into range? Here it comes. And he's just blasting through it, barreling through that lead hand control. Boom, gets planted, and here comes Prograis smashing through, right? Anticipating down, up. Again, Prograis is a pretty decent puncher, pretty decent mechanics. He definitely uses a two-punching system. Even though he doesn't understand it, he knows what it feels like. Now, again, following the jab back, right? Again, look at the position that Zarria is in here. Feinting him here, controlling him, following that move back. What happens when Prograis goes for a double jab? What happens if he throws a double jab instead, right? Now, again, look at Prograis' active guard. Look at his head movements. Not really afraid to fight on the right side of the line or the left side of the line. He's on the right side of the line and left side of the line. Now, this was one of the moves that Devin Haney had such a good interaction with Lomachenko. Is he would attack him when he was on the front foot, and Loma couldn't do anything. Loma would shell up, right? Sometimes he would come back with a pull counter, right? Very rarely though. But here he's going to kind of pull and jump forward with a 1-2, and look at him catching him, dropping him. He's not hurt, okay? But it's very important to understand that while Zarria is trying to move away and circle and create space, he tries to attack Prograis as he moves his head across the line, and he's still not safe. 1-2, okay? And I couldn't find it on my next rewatch, but I watched this fight twice yesterday, and I still couldn't find it today when I was like skimming through. But he does that move to Zarria multiple times, okay, multiple times. Now, eventually, okay, he's going to get on the line, jab. Here comes the counter. Devin Haney loves to counter the jabs. Pull, down. Again, exactly how I teach pull counters. Get your weight to the ground. Okay, create your structure. Comes up, counter, counter. Pull. Look at him countering, pulling in the middle of his sequence, coming back up. Boom, boom, boom. Letting his hands go real quick. You're not allowed to duck below your opponent's waist. Clean pull. Not as clean. It's debatable. It's debatable. Let's take a look one more time. Boom, boom. Oof. Is it? It looks like it. Nah. Okay. But look at the scrambles. Look at how the intensity, right? Now Prograis got hit with 2 hooks right there. Very hittable, right? And another hook here. His defense on the inside, not very good, right? Devin Haney does have really fast hands. He's really sharp on the inside with his punches, not his defense. His head movement is atrocious when he does actually use it. But I think that if you see this sequence here, right, this is exactly what Devin Haney looks to do. We saw him multiple times set himself up against the ropes, against Loma, multiple times, and it allows someone like Prograis to get on his line with a very, very, very powerful attack, pull, good defense, good seeing punches coming, right? Sometimes. But these are not the kind of sequences that Devin Haney is going to come out on top of. Okay, and Devin Haney has a habit of having to guard the line with punches. And I just think that on average, Regis Prograis is going to be getting more value out of those moves and out of those types of sequences than Devin Haney. Let's go ahead and take a look. Again, getting planted here. Moving. And again, putting himself in a very similar position that Zarya was in, right? Controlling space with that lead hand. Here it comes. And we saw multiple times that Prograis could fight from the right side of the line or the left side of the line when he's being attacked, right? Now, Devin Haney is they call it like a bladed stance. He has a bladed stance. Um, but he fights primarily with his left shoulder to the line. And because of that, it's going to make him very predictable for Prograis. I think this is going to be a really, really difficult fight for Devin Haney if he fights within the set of the rules. Now, one of the rules that he's probably going to break that won't matter as much is going to be ducking below the waist because Prograis is super fast. He hits super hard. And I think he'll still be able to find holes as he's coming forward, kind of like Jamel Charlo versus Erickson Lupin, where he kind of ducked and moved into a shot. Devin Haney gets hit a lot while he's rolling and coming back to the line as well. He tries to counter left hands from Loma as he pulls them and then tries to come back with his left hand down. But this defense here, all of these things, man, all of these little holes for Devin Haney, they all make it look like to me I don't have any choice but to predict KO for Regis Prograis. Um, I think that so many of the sequences, if he fights him fairly, right? I mean, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold Prograis. I do think he might wind up being bigger than Prograis by some miracle. Um, but I don't know if the holding is going to be that effective because Prograis can swing with both hands close on the inside. Devin Haney always has holes on the inside. Devin Haney always guards the line with the left hand. He always steps with his punches. It's going to be an interesting fight because Crawford versus Spence, the straight punch artist was the guy who was coming forward, right? Crawford was the rounded punch expert, the power puncher who was going backwards and allowing them to come to him. The rounded punch guy is the one going forward in this fight, and it's the straight punch guy that's going backwards. And I say that because it's really difficult to be an offensive fighter if you can't move your head like Errol Spence, right? You got to get a lot of credit because you gave Mayweather a black eye, so now nobody wants to fight you anymore. Um, for people to be like, oh well, Mayweather, he gave Mayweather a black eye. What's he gonna do to me? You know, and you have guys who are decent power punchers like Danny Garcia who just don't throw any punches all fight. They're busy trying to make it out of the fight rather than win. But we had the power puncher going forward this time, and uh, the straight punch guy who can't move his head going backwards. So kind of similar like the Daniel Zarya fight. If he can maintain some offense, if he can score and let punches go without having to put himself at extra risk, he may be able to steal this fight from Prograis. Now, Prograis can fight off of his opponent's jab. He can fight off of his opponent's rear hand. He's got decent pulls from the rear side, the left side of the line. He's got, not the greatest offense from the right side, but he's not completely handicapped. He's not a fish out of water like Loma was. And I just don't see enough opportunity for Devin Haney to score safely against um, Regis Prograis to be able to win the fight. Okay. All that coupled with the fact that Devin Haney doesn't box and move circling, right? He doesn't circle left or circle right at all. He only goes straight forward or straight back. Now, he can circle, and they call it an L step. Um, it's really just a pendulum step, but you like kind of turn sideways instead of pendulum stepping going backwards. Um, so it's even worse. And if he does that against Prograis, he might just get smacked. Um, but yeah, I guess I'm picking Regis Prograis by KO. Um, it could be early, it could be late. Um, it might not happen, but The only way I think that Devin Haney wins this fight is if it's a boring, terrible fight that the judges score inappropriately. That they allow the guy who runs and doesn't engage in, because people don't understand that that's not what Mayweather did, right? Mayweather would circle, move, and he would stick you with jabs, and he would stick you with straight right hands, and he would jump in with leaping left hooks. He would only do one punch at a time, but he was always the fastest with every punch, and he would land a good amount of them. He would score, right? We wanted to see him beat people up. We wanted to see him go Floyd Mayweather versus Arturo Gatti mode and really put a beat down, but that's not who Mayweather was. Number one, he was never a power puncher, right? He doesn't have any power. He doesn't know what to do with his hands to generate power. Check out the Fouts boxing combat system. Learn things that Floyd Mayweather doesn't know. Now, um, but I just don't know. But Devin Haney circling, moving. If he's not scoring, if he's not getting any value, right? If he's not doing any damage to his opponent, he's just getting feints and probes and controlling, but he's only controlling to move away. Those rounds that Regis Prograis has to hunt him down and doesn't get any engagements should be scored 10-8 for Regis Prograis. That's what it says in the rules. So if Devin Haney doesn't want to score and he doesn't want to get knocked out, he can still be in the contest, but it should be scored fairly. It should be scored in a way that shows, like, think about this, right? You guys ever play poker? Okay. What if we were playing Texas Hold'em? Okay. Let's all play Texas Hold'em. We got 8 people at the table. Oh, what's up, Brad? Yo, Charlie. Yo, what's up, bro? Now we all look at our hands and let's say we don't have any blinds. You look at your hand. No, I'm not going to play. No, I'm not going to play. Okay, nobody plays until they have pocket pairs or ace kings, right? So every hand is extremely boring because everyone winds up in the same position, right? Oh, you got a pocket pair, you got ace king, shit, right? Otherwise, you just fold because there's no risk. As soon as Regis Prograis jumps on the line with the jab, he's anteing up. He's putting some value on the table. And if his opponent just wants to run off the line, right? Those blinds, Regis Prograis should reap them. That's a one engagement. He won that. He put something out there and he stole the pot, right? I know, I know. Oh well, he didn't put anything in there, so he can't lose anything. What's that guy? Anton Chigurh. You've been putting it up your whole life. Just kidding, guys. But you see how stupid it is for a guy to get credit for defense and he just runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and then jumps in with one jab when you weren't expecting him to jab because he'd been running the whole time, and then he runs and runs and runs and runs, right? Anyway, um, yeah, I think I'm going with Prograis in a fair fight, in a correctly scored fight. But the likelihood that Devin Haney, well, Devin Haney had chin problems at 135. He would get hit by guys like Jorge Linares, almost slept him, right? Made him do the funky chicken. Um, Again, another thing that happens when you have poor footwork, you get more funky chicken. But maybe he has a better chin at 140, right? Like Amir Khan. Amir Khan wound up having a better chin when he moved up. Bradis Prescott smoked him, and then he moved up and then managed somehow to get a win over Marcos Maidana somehow, um, even though he got dropped and hurt like a billion times. Um, but maybe you'll have a better chin and he won't get sparked, right? Daniel Zariah made it out of the fight. Daniel Zariah is a pretty big guy too. Devin Haney is going to be way stronger and way more fit than Daniel Zariah. So maybe Prograis doesn't get the KO, but I'm picking KO. Um, Even though, man, my confidence is not super high. My confidence is not super high, But that's the only logical conclusion I can get from my film study is that Prograis is going to get a KO victory. So anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. Um, yeah, check out the Fouts Boxing Combat System. Again, it's the only combat system in the world to teach you how to fight, to teach you, the pace of fighting, to teach you what fighting is, what you should be worried about, what you should be doing at all times. Um, Also, teach you how to throw your best punch and improve your best punch as well. Okay, it's the only combat system in mind that's going to teach you how to do all that stuff and still be in position to throw power punches. Okay, um, yeah. Don't forget to send in your training videos. If you guys got some training videos, send them to my email. That's a zero, M4RVEL0US at gmail.com. And I'll give you some pointers and some tips to help you through your boxing journey. Now, also, if you want full-time coaching, check out my Patreon. It's $50 to sign up, $50 a month. And every time you send in a video, I will give you full critiques with my Fouts Boxing Combat System teaching in mind to help you become the fighter you want to be. Okay. Yeah. All right. Later, guys.